That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Significant Other, the fourth film directed by Dan Berk and Robert Olsen, which is being released October 7th, 2022, courtesy of Paramount Plus.
Do you know their other films?
They did Stakeland 2, which I never saw because I didn't like Jim Mickles' first Stakeland back in 2010.
So you let that cloud your opinion of the second one?
I just never made a point to see it, and now I feel like, do I need to? Although the first one does feature, what's her name from Top Gun? Kelly McGillis. Anyway, I did see the last film they did called Villains in 2019 on a plane somewhere, starring Bill Skarsgård and Maika Monroe, which had similar thoughts to this film, where this familiar, simple story is used like partially in an effective manner, and then kind of that goes away.
Okay, the basic story. There is a couple, a man and a woman.
Ruth and Harry.
They go hiking in like the woods.
The Pacific Northwest.
And we see an alien spaceship land. And
well, we know it looks like a comet coming down, and then we see this tubular looking thing take over a deer. And
as the audience, we assume the lady has been exposed to this alien thing because she's acting weird. And then it builds up to a point where we get a segment where she's just acting weird and out of it. And then her boyfriend takes her to like a cliff and uses that to propose to her.
Notably, it's the second time that he's proposed in this film.
And she becomes visibly upset and then pushes him off the cliff. Like she kills his ass. And then makes a break for it. Bumps into some other people.
Another couple.
Looking for assistance. They assist her. They're camped out because now it's late and they have to wait till the morning, I guess, to go.
She's hit her head. She's bleeding. It's clear she's a woman in trouble.
And then all of a sudden, her boyfriend shows up looking pristine.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when we realize that
she wasn't the one exposed.
She's not the alien. He is. So she had witnessed that the audience didn't see. Is she saw that his body had been like shed or cocooned. So he's dead. So whomever was talking to her, whomever proposed to her, is clearly an alien. So that's why she pushes ass off the cliff. So now her boyfriend / alien is back. He kills the two people, but he is inhabiting it's like they clone the person or make a version of the person. And he's telling her, I've done this before, but this is the first time I've inhabited someone else's body. And I'm having the feelings they're having, I'm in love with you and I want to be with you. And the reason I'm here is I'm a scout for my alien civilization. We're going to take over your planet. So I would recommend that you come back with me. We can be together in whatever planet I live on because your planet's going to be destroyed. And of course she's like, hell no. She tries to hurt him. It doesn't work. It's important to know that at a point she noticed that the beaches were closed because sharks were very close to shore.
The other woman told her that.
So her plan is, since she can't hurt him, is she swims out into the ocean after she has stabbed him. So he's bleeding and she thinks that he's going to follow her. And he does. And now he's out in this ocean bleeding and a shark attacks him. So she gets back to shore, tries to make a break for it. But then we see that, yes, the shark did injure him, but he's not dead and he has ripped off the shark's head. So clearly he's going to be fine. He does catch up with her. He puts her in a cocoon and then he transforms into her. But it's important to know that the reason the lady was acting weird in the beginning is because she wasn't an alien. It's because she suffers from severe anxiety to the point where she has to take medication.
Where she's first proposed to, she has a panic attack.
And she has run out of her medication. So her plan is, this alien is now in my body. I'm going to provoke it to have a panic attack, which she does. So it's on the ground hyperventilating. And then it tries to get her medication bottle, but it's empty. So she's able to get out of the cocoon. She smashes the head in of the alien, gets to her car and drives off. But in the end, we see that the alien is like talking to her through the radio transmission. Like, girl, you can't escape me, and your planet's about to be destroyed. So the final shot is a bunch of those alien pods landing, the end. Mm-hmm. What did you think of this movie?
I was fine with it, even though it's derivative from Go, but I was fine with it until the grand reveal of Jake Lacy being the one that's actually been infected by the alien, because then the film doesn't know what to do, because then it becomes Invasion of the Body Snatchers as a rom-com a little bit, which is like all of his lines after that as the alien are just feel kind of dumb, because that's where we learn the exposition, like, I'm a scout, wait, why am I even telling you that? It's like, oh
yeah, up until we learn he's the alien, the story's very simple.
It's The Thing, but in the Pacific Northwest.
And then because that actor who I know from White Lotus.
Yes, and he's good at playing he's either good at playing a terrible person or like a lovely white angel, like an obvious child. But...
Yeah, and I think the tone was weird because it's like now this alien's talking to her like it is like a rom-com. So I thought that was weird.
Yes, and then it takes on a vibe of something like another film we reviewed called Save Yourselves from a couple years ago, about that couple that goes to visit a cabin in New York.
That's right.
These
yes.
fuzzy aliens.
I mean, I think it was okay. It did keep my attention, so that's a good thing. I think the story I would have preferred was, because what I found most interesting was this alien inhabiting like a human body and feeling its emotions and falling in love with this woman. I feel like that should have been the bulk of the story. Mm-hmm. And then it culminates with her making a decision. Like, am I going to go to some planet I don't know to be with this man I love? I mean, that would have been more interesting.
Well, and clearly she doesn't love him anymore. And then, this mechanism of an alien race sending a scout. Well, could you give them a little time to kind of putter around in the world? Because it's like he landed in the woods and took over a deer, and then all of a sudden they're...
Well, I feel the same way, because the problem is it's not explained to us. Like, is he just going to make sure, like, the atmosphere is okay?
Soil samples?
Because we don't ever really know, like, did he give his people the okay to come the next day? Like, it's just kind of doing... It feels like 2 or 3 different movies.
Yes, and then the end with the final shot of all the red things in the sky reminded me of, that eerie shot of the Hollywood Hills at the end of The Invitation.
Oh,
the
sure.
Kusama film, and it's like, well, yeah, it sounds like all of those things would work. It just feels so, because at 84 minutes, it's almost at breakneck speed, but only very familiar things happen. I don't know.
The CGI looks pretty good, because the alien kind of does like Terminator type stuff where he can have like swords and stuff coming out of his
like
body.
Robert Patrick in Terminator 2.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought for the because I'm assuming the budget wasn't the highest. I think the film looks good.
It's fine. The 2 leads are okay. Maika Monroe, she was in their previous film. You know her as the best friend in Greta, as well as the young woman in The Guest, which is a favorite of yours.
I like her and I like him. Mm-hmm. I would recommend it, like checking it out.
Yeah.
It just feels very simple.
For something streaming on Paramount Plus, compared to some of the things that have come out on there recently, yeah.
What would you give it?
I think 2.5 is fair.
I would give it 2.5 as well. Anything else?
No.
Okay, hit the thanks button. Listen to our podcast. Bye.